Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm showing you all my bedtime routine on my favorite low manipulation hairstyle that I use the most, and that is my braid outs. So as you can probably see, my hair is very large today. This is actually a day 2 braid out that was set in 3 braids the night before. It's very large as it was the first beautiful day here in the British Midlands, I should say, in terms of the weather. So I'm actually filming this on a Sunday. It was very sunny and I spent most of my time outside. We went to our local farm for some eggs, went to a car boot sale, and we had an outdoor barbecue as well. So after all of the excitement, my hair had caught the humidity, and so has my face apparently, which is why I'm so shiny. So to preface this is a technique that I use when I wear my hair out. Though I'm doing that a lot these days, that was not the case when I was focused on length. So if you are looking to grow your hair longer, I would say that you want to be keeping your hair in protective styles at least 2/3 of the time to help with this. So on an average week in the past, I would only use this method about 1 to 3 times. Nowadays, it's more like 4 to 5 times per week. So let's get into my bedtime routine. So I usually do this just before bed, before my skincare and facial massages. So the first step that I actually forgot to show on screen is to check my nails. So you know how you get those tiny tears or dents in your nails sometimes if you catch them on something? Well, I find that they're really prone to getting caught in my hair and cause damage. So I check my nails for those every time I do my hair. If I find one, I'll file it down and smooth it down before continuing. Another thing to keep in mind is that doing my hair at bedtime is therapy to me. The whole bedroom routine is yummy to me. I enjoy doing it, and I think it's really important to be in that mindset. Otherwise, you might find yourself getting a little bit impatient with your hair, which of course is not good at all because it can lead to you damaging your hair, ripping it apart and things like that. So just I hope you can try to enjoy your bedtime routine as much as possible. Make it fun and just make it something that you look forward to. The next step for me is to remove all of my hand and wrist jewelry. This is because I don't want my hair to get caught or tangled in any of it. Then I usually decide on whether I'm going to set my hair in 1 or 3 braids. This is quite an important decision for me because it really determines the kind of styles that I can wear the next day. So with a single braid, I get an almost straightish outcome, basically less curls. So if I'm planning to wear my hair in a slick hairstyle, I'll use this method. I use the word slick very loosely because I know that to some, none of my hairstyles would qualify as slick, as I don't really use gels or ever really have my hair super flat. But I'll put a couple of examples on the screen of the hairstyles I usually do when I set in 1 braid. If I'm looking for a more voluminous hairstyle, I will set in 3 braids as they are best for that. I'll put some examples on screen of the hairstyles I do when I set my hair in 3 braids as well. You're probably wondering why I do 1 or 3 and not 2 or 4 braids. This is because I want to avoid the line parting in the center of my head as much as possible. I also don't do any more than 3 purely because I don't feel like I need to. Increasing the number of braids doesn't really give me better results, so I like to stick to 1 or 3. So for the next step, I'm moving on to removing all of the bobby pins in my hair. So whenever I wear my hair down, I tend to use a lot of these to keep my hair in place. As you can imagine, they're not always visible, so I might make sure I take my time so that I can definitely remove them all. After that, I usually massage my hair. I do this every time I do my nighttime routine. It really helps to release tension if I've had my hair secured or tightly bound that day, and it just feels really good. So head massages have also been shown to encourage hair growth by increasing blood flow to the follicles as well. So definitely a good idea. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is gently parting my hair. Emphasis here on the gently. If I could give you some advice that I actually don't use and I'm actually starting now, is to, if you can, part your hair with a comb and have neat parts. I personally have found that over time, finger parting has definitely caused some damage because inevitably there's some sort of leftover hair in between the 2 sections that sort of get caught on either side and can cause sort of breakage. So Also, don't be like me, avoid forever parts. I've basically been parting my hair in the same places for like 3 years. I'm not even kidding. So I have some short pieces that should be more full. So I'm getting around to finally remedying that now, and I'll let you know the progress as well. So now you can see me preparing each section for braiding. What I usually do is once I've done sectioning them, I will usually put two of the three partings away or areas away, and I use my silk scrunchie to do this. So silk is a great alternative to other more harsh fabrics such as cotton or polyester. Because of the smoothness, it can help you avoid breakage as well as help your hair keep its natural sheen. This particular super large silk scrunchie is part of my embroidered scrunchie collection. You can see the embroidery of ISSP, if she so pleases, here. And this color was one that was launched about 3 weeks ago for the summer. This is the summer yellow. If you'd like to check out the rest of the collection, you can find it in the link in the bio. After separating the section, I usually brush my hair down gently just to make sure that all of the strands are going in the same direction. This makes for a much smoother finish the next day. Once I'm done brushing, I usually just clip that section and then move on to the next one. I also thought it would be nice to do sort of a mini length check for you guys since I haven't done one in a few months as well. So here you go. Once I've prepped each section, I release them all and then begin to braid. My braiding technique is pretty simple. I just make sure that each section is smooth before I start. I then braid overhand because that's what basically comes natural to me. One thing to note is how I handle my hair when the sections are too short to continue on. So my front sections run out of hair usually, so I'll just grab a third of the middle of the hair that belongs to the back section and add to each side. I'm really gentle about this though, because this could be one of the times where my hair could potentially break if I use the wrong technique. So then, yes, I do that very gently and I continue to braid until the end. You may have noticed that I didn't add any moisture to my hair at all during this process. For me, one of my biggest helps when it comes to length retention has been not adding any moisture to my hair apart from wash day. So you will see that I do add moisture to the end, but never to the length of my hair apart from wash day. And the reason for that is because when my strands are stretched, there's less breakage, there's less tangling, and so I am able to retain length easier. When they shrink up with each other, there's more tangling, more breakage, and whenever I add just a little bit of water, that is how my hair reacts. So I prefer to keep it away from that. I would recommend though, if you are trying a technique like this, please seal the moisture into your hair quite heavily. Please do not use really thin products because they won't stand the test of time when it comes to waiting to your next wash day. So the next step for me is to spray the ends of my hair and only the ends with a little bit of warm water. I use warm water because my hair gets stiff and a little bit brittle whenever I use cold water, so I just like to stay clear. And I only apply it to the ends for the reasons I just mentioned. The ends of our hair, obviously the oldest pieces of hair on our heads, and so they are more prone to breakage and getting dried out than every other part of my hair, which is why even though I avoid moisture on the length of my hair, I do like to top up moisture on my ends during the week. So I will do this every single time that I do my bedtime routine. After I have sprayed it with water, I will apply the heavy sealant that I always use. It's the same one that I use on wash day for the length of my hair. This is my hair butter. If you're wondering about what is in it, the base is unrefined pure shea butter, and the other ingredients include extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, castor oil, grapeseed oil, hazelnut oil. And this particular hair butter smells a lot like strawberries. If you are looking to try my bedtime routine after seeing this video, Of course, you do not need my particular hair butter in order to do this. You can just use pure shea butter. You can use maybe if you're into grease, you can use something like that. Just make sure it's something heavy enough to seal in the moisture for multiple days. I, of course, use this product all of the time because it's mine. It has all of my ideal oils and it smells delicious. So I enjoy smelling like strawberries or vanilla or coconut or mangoes all day long. After applying my hair butter, you can see that I'm just twisting up the ends of my braid, and then I'm just going to smooth the bottom bit out as well before applying my flexi rod. Now my ends are so prone to tangling. My hair is so tangly, which is why it needs to be stretched basically all the time. Otherwise it runs amok. So a flexi rod is the only thing that I found that really does keep the tangles away. So I would really recommend them. You can get like a box of 30 or 40 from Amazon for like $10. I'll leave a link to my Amazon store below as well because I do have flexi rods there if you want to take a look at the exact ones that I have. That is all for the night portion of my routine. I'm also going to show you sort of how I would take this down and style in the morning, just so you see what it looks like. So last things last, I'm going to go and get my bonnet and pop that on my head. One thing to mention is that I actually have noticed that wearing scarves, so satin scarves and tying those on my head rather than bonnets, do give a better results in terms of my hair is sort of still all going in one direction and smooth when I wake up. Lately, I've been wearing this bonnet because I've been getting like headaches lately, and I think it's just because I'm going to bed late. But I think the fact that I've been tying my scarf around my head has kind of been exasperating that as well. So I'm personally taking a break from scarves and moving towards bonnets at the moment. But I have noticed that scarves do generally give more precise sort of results. So yeah, guys, that is it for the nighttime routine. Next time you see me will be in the morning when I'm getting ready for work. Good morning, everyone. So now I am getting ready for work. It is a Monday and I am not that excited to go into the office. So here you can see me removing my bonnet, and I don't know if you can see them from here, but there are like these tiny little flyaways. I don't know if you can see, like shorter pieces, and those are usually caused by the friction of me moving around at night because I'm a crazy sleeper, and the bonnet doesn't help. It just sort of like, rubs against my hair and creates more friction. So I do prefer the scarves because they help to keep my hair flat even when I'm, moving around a lot at night. So as you can see here, I am grabbing an oil of my choice after removing my flexi rod. I am using argan oil. For many years, I used olive oil for this step, but I went to Morocco recently and I ended up picking up this lovely homemade argan oil. As you can, it's called handmade argan oil, hand pressed, cold pressed. But I really like the texture of it, and so this is what I'm using at the moment until it's finished for the ends of my hair. It's just to lubricate them while I'm taking down my braids, just to make sure that I can avoid damage as much as possible. There's really not much to my technique here. The only thing I'm doing is just making sure that I'm taking it down as gently as possible. So I'm not really ripping through my hair or anything like that. And I'm also paying attention to the fact that there are some pieces of hair, as you know, from the first part of the video that were borrowed from other sections. So I have to be very careful when pulling those apart, otherwise you can rip them. So now that the braid is removed, I think you can probably see that my hair is kind of flat. And this is what I mean by when I use one braid, it has like flatter results. However, I'm kind of noticing here in the mirror that it's not as flat as I'm used to. So I'm really understanding now, as you can see me here on screen, that humidity has affected my style a bit more than I thought. So you're probably thinking, yeah, that's what humidity does, but one thing to remind you is that it's not very warm here in England, and so these things don't really happen often. And so yeah, this is the beginning of the summer and I'm realizing this is where we are. So I am going against, at first I thought maybe I would wear my hair down today, but then I end up changing my mind and deciding to put it up instead. You guys probably can't see too well from where you're situated, but I'm currently just picking out some of my favorite accessories. There we go. There's a scrunchie. There is another bow from my dresser, and there's another bow. And I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to wear today with my outfit. My dresser is definitely my place of play. You can see me selecting the bow here, but then I think later on I'm changing my mind and just going with my ivory scrunchie. This one's also part of my collection. It's the ivory color. After much deliberation and staring at myself in the mirror, wondering what I'm going to do today, I finally decided to go with just a sleek bun, which is kind of annoying because I could have just left my hair in the braid that I woke up in. But no, I did plan on taking my hair down and having it down today in the first place. So you could probably see me here just removing my wedding rings to make sure I don't get them caught on my hair once again. Ugh. And then I'm just going in with smoothing my hair down and ready to put it back in literally exactly the same bun that I had before I was going to bed. So obviously on days when I already had this in and that's how I planned to wear my hair, I wouldn't undo it and do it again because there's literally no reason for that. I would probably just brush it as it is and go from there. This bun that you see me putting in my hair now, I actually did not remove for the next 4 days. I just decided that, I've been doing a lot of manipulation to my hair lately and I simply just wanted to leave it alone. So I left it in exactly the same bun for the next 4 days, as I mentioned. I didn't take it down. I didn't moisturize the ends or anything like that because what I'm going to do is just tuck in the ends into the buns and tuck the ends into the bun and then bobby pin them to secure so the ends won't have any contact with basically outside air. So there's no reason for me to go in and re-moisturize over and over again. So in the end, I kept this bun in for 4 days. After 4 days, I took it out and then it was wash day again. You can see the technique that I used to tuck my ends coming up now. You can see I'm just sort of going around the bun. And then when it comes to the very end, you'll see I just tuck it into the bun and then I just use the bobby pins to secure. Then at the very end, I just put my scrunchie over it and that is the style complete. There's literally nothing else to it. So yes, that is all there is to my bedtime routine. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what your bedtime routine is like. Is it similar to mine? Is it very different? What is different? I'd love to hear everything you have to say. It takes me a while, but I reply to most of the comments now. I think there are so many, I can't say I reply to all of them anymore, but I reply to as many as I can. So I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Okay, bye.